All right, welcome everybody. So I figured today we're going to do a little update on the environmental testing that I've been doing. So some of these things have been out here for close to 2 years. I believe it was April 2017. And I've added a couple of things since then. So right after I did the test on this Wera L key, I went and put it out here. So that was only about 3 weeks ago, and as you can tell, it doesn't seem to be doing too well in the rust department, which was pretty much expected. You know, these are sold, marketed as not having any coating, so. But I'm not seeing too much fading on the plastic yet. Maybe a little bit, but I'm sure eventually that'll fade out to a lighter color. But yeah, it sure didn't take that long for this to rust. So yeah, it should be interesting. I guess one day we'll try to recover these and see if we can get the rust off. So if we move over to the screwdrivers, this one right here is the Wera. As you can see, it's not doing too bad at all. I mean, the handle is a bit faded, especially near the top, but it hasn't started cracking or flaking off or anything like that. And the shaft actually looks pretty good. I thought at one time this was starting to rust, but I think that was just probably some dirt. It's not bad for 2 years outside. So they definitely knew what they were doing when they selected that material. So now looking at the Philo, I don't really see much of a change since the last time we were out here, which was probably about 8 months ago, at least on the shaft part. So pretty much what I think happened is they had some contaminants or something on that shaft, and that's actually what's rusting. It's not the actual material, but there's not much you can do about that unless you put it on a lathe and mill it off, because it's really down in the micro abrasions and things like that down in there. And there are some spots in there you can see where there is a little bit more rust than others. So I must say that the Philo handles have really held up well to the UV. Yeah, that stuff's still pliable even after almost 2 years. So I guess if there's one takeaway from these, that material is pretty much UV stable. And I'm pretty sure these marks in here that you see are from birds trying to eat this material. So if we take a look at one of our controls, yeah, it's pretty much what we expected. It's a lot of rust there on the shaft. Chrome's starting to flake away. The plastic there is starting to turn a nice amber color, but it hasn't yet cracked or anything. And then we got this Harbor Freight one, and this one's probably, the handle on this one's probably doing the worst out of all of them. You can start to see some cracks in here, micro cracks from the, believe from the UV drying it out. And it looks like back in here it's starting to flake off a bit. And the shaft on there, it's not as bad as the other one, but you can definitely see the rust spots starting to form on there. So the final things I've put on here was one of these Hazet stainless steel sockets, and I must say I'm actually quite impressed by this. There really isn't traces of any rust or corrosion on here. That right there is just like a little water spot from where the water was pulling because it was facing down. But that thing looks like pretty much the way it was when I put it on here. Say what you want about the prices of these Hazets, but they sure do make good stuff. So here was that control socket that I put up alongside the Hazet one, and there's a little bit of rust forming right in here on the inside, and you can see the chrome starting to flake away in a couple of spots, but it hasn't gone through any significant rusting. But I mean, you could just tell by the difference. These were put up at exactly the same time. Alright guys, well I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. We'll just play by ear on how much longer I'm going to keep these out here, because not seeing much change in the stainless one really. I was really expecting to keep this Wera one out here until it started to rust, which, even though it's stainless steel, it's going to rust eventually. It's just a matter of time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch you guys next time.